Now, one of the common things that happens with designing forms in Access is when you change the data or add data, they don't always refresh automatically. And so I want to show you what that means. I'm viewing the form at the moment in Form View, and I've got the first record in front of me, which is Matthew Czar. Now let's say I made a mistake and that shouldn't have been Matthew, so I'm going to change Matthew using the drop down to Greg. Now when I choose Greg, notice it doesn't update. So I'll put it back to Matthew. And the same with the class. This is Great Works on Term 1, 2014. Let's say I change it to Quantum Science, which is Term 2. It doesn't change. So I'm just going to press Escape so they go back to what they were. The other way to notice that this is not refreshing is if I go to the Add Record button and I choose a student. Let's choose, say, Matthew again, Matthew Czar, and let's put in, and that worked, that's fine. Let's put him down for English Lit. That didn't work, so that's not fine. So notice that the class, term and years do not refresh. If I press F9, they'll refresh, but I don't want the user to remember to have to press F9. I want it to automatically refresh the functions in the record as soon as I change a student or change a class. Let's add another record. So I'll add record. This time I'm choosing Deborah West. Deborah West, come through, that's great, and I'm putting her down for thermodynamics theory. That didn't work. Again, you can go through the ribbon, you can actually ask it to refresh all, or you can just press F9, which causes it to also refresh. But what we're going to do is create a macro which will automatically refresh the record whenever we choose a class, for example. So we're going to actually just dive off and create a macro, leaving the form open, hit the Create tab in the ribbon, and then go to Macro. What we've got here is an Add New Action drop down, and if you click this drop down and get down to the R's, you'll find the option Refresh Record. And that's exactly what I want this macro to do, is automatically refresh the record. And that's all I want it to do. So we don't need to add a second action. I'd like to save this macro, so I'm just going to hit the Save button on my Quick Access toolbar, and I'm going to call it MCR Refresh. This is my refresh macro, and OK. And then I'll close the macro. Now I'll get into the design of this form, Design View, and I want to assign the macro to this combo box. I don't want them to have to hit a button to refresh, or have to hit the refresh all button in the ribbon, or have to press F9 to refresh. I just want it to happen automatically. So this is when we get into the properties and we get into the events. Events are triggers. And so what I'm saying here is when class ID is updated, so after update, that it automatically runs the macro. So here's the after update property, and if I click in here, I can hit the drop down and say run the refresh macro. So after class ID is updated, it will run automatically the refresh macro. So let's just test the theory. I'm going to save the form, and I'm going to go to the Home tab and view the form. Now I want to add a record, so I'm going to hit the Add Record button, and I'm wanting to choose Tom Peacock. Tom Peacock. That one automatically refreshed, so that wasn't the problem. But I'm going to put Tom Peacock down for English Lit. And there it is. You can see the macro, after that was updated, automatically refreshed the record. So I'm now going to add some more records. Add record, and I'm after Pinky, and I want to put them down for Quantum Science, and it refreshes. Add record, and so these are my enrollments. Richard has just rung up, and Richard wants to do English Lit. Add another record. I've just had a call from, say, Greg, and Greg also wants to do English Lit. Add record, and also had a call from Dan, and Dan wants to do English Lit. Very popular subject. Add record, and lastly Tom Peacock rang back again, and not only does he want to do English Lit, but he wants to do Quantum Science. And done. And now we have a total of 28 records. So I want to close my form, and that form is done using Dlookups and a macro that runs automatically on the after update event. Close.